capital C. So it's capital C, 1950. Josh.
A good afternoon and welcome out to Cougar Field on the campus of Columbus State University. It is a special edition here on Cougar Sports TV as we are coming live to you to broadcast our women's softball intra-squad scrimmage. We welcome all those who have joined us here on Cougar Sports TV. I'm Corey Aldis, excited to be here with y'all. Okay, there's a lot going on today. Let me try to catch you up to speed on everything. We've had a lot of technical difficulties as our internet box inside the press box up here at softball has gone missing. So we're using different equipment, and I'm trying to throw a bunch of things together here to make sure that we get to broadcast this softball scrimmage. But no TriCaster, which is our main piece of equipment that provides the video and audio. So the video that you're seeing, I'm hoping that it comes through, and I'm hoping that it survives because I'm on a personal hotspot and I'm using my personal laptop to show you the film. So look, we just make do. That's what we do here at CSU, and we're going to make it happen. We're going to make it work because it's going to be an awesome Friday night here at Cougar Field. Let's get things rolling as Coach Huskisson gets his girls all set up. And again, hopefully the video and audio works properly. It might sound a little funky. Hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully things come out as clear and crisp as possible and without too many hiccups. But you know what? We'll just play it by ear as we roll through the afternoon. Speaking of some things that have gone a little haywire, that's what we're about to watch out on the field. Coach Huskisson is rolling out a whole bunch of crazy different lineups and different ideas. So let me try to get you up to speed on everything to make sure that it works. All right, so Coach Huskisson has decided to split the teams up into 4 teams. You've got a Team A, Team B, Team C, and Team D. For Team A, he's put 4 positional players on each team, and then you'll see different pitchers out there as well. So that's the way that he's kind of mixed things up here. So for Team A, you have Ambrose, Dawson, Reynolds, and Kristen Odom. There's 2 Odoms. Got to make sure that we get them properly attributed to each team. For Team B, Corbin, Vincent, Harris, and then our other Odom, Tara Odom. For Team C, Kennedy, Patton, Holmes, and Duncan. And then for Team D, Dodson, Elston, Cooper, and Kaiser. So for each team, what he's done is he split it up. The 4 players will each have a chance to bat at the plate. And then he's put 9 different fielders, obviously, out there. You can tell that it's a mixture of teams. You see the different colored jerseys or shirts that they're wearing. Not quite jerseys, but shirts. You can see that there's different players out there mixed up defensively, but they're all going to be the same as far as those who are at the plate. So we'll see if we can keep score for these 4 teams. Again, it's not an inter squad as one team versus the other. It's not your typical red versus white, blue versus white, blue versus red. It's 4 different teams that are out there that are all competing for the highest score. So we're going to play 20 total half innings, which obviously equates to 10 total innings in our scrimmage. And I'll keep you updated on the runs and see how best we can get everything rolling here as they start things off. We have an official umpire behind the plate as well. How about that? Coach Huskisson also mentioned that he's going to try to do a 0-0 count on everything and a 5-batter max per inning, per half inning, if that makes sense. Again, a lot of different rules. It's just, look, we're going to have some fun, and I'll keep you up to date on everything. To start things off, though, it's Odom who smacks one into right field. Look at the diving grab made out there in right field by Patton, I believe, who's out there in right to start things off defensively. Coming up with a snag for the Lady Cougars. Way to help out Team Gray out there. One out already for Team Red. You see Ambrose on deck with Reynolds, the one at the plate who fouls that one behind us. How great is it to see Reynolds back out there? For all of you Lady Cougar fans that are familiar with the program, you know Kirsten Reynolds, the junior from Phoenix City out of Glenwood High, and what she brings to this team. It's great to see her back out there in a Cougar uniform. 0-1 pitch. This is there, 1-1. I'll try to keep you up to date on the count as well. Again, no graphics, obviously. With this being a 4-team inter-squad scrimmage, I'm not even sure what you would call it. Coach Huskisson has a name for this situational hitting game. He calls it, it's unfair, good. Now deal with it and win the sit. A long name, but hey, it works. Yeah, it is unfair. And you'll notice that as we progress, it is going to be unfair because Coach Huskisson is going to add runners on the base paths as we progress on in this situational hitting. So right now, everything's starting off with 0 runners on and 0 outs. That pitch misses outside, so another ball. 3-2 count, full count. Payoff pitch is fouled back by Reynolds. Reynolds made that all Peach Belt Conference second team back in 2018. She was a region selection as well back in 2018. A great year for the Cougars. 8 bombs, 7 doubles, a couple triples, 24 RBIs. She really did it all for CSU and can play multiple positions as well. You see her draw the walk there. She'll head on over to first base. That brings out the big power hitter in Elise Ambrose. By the way, we have a mic down on the field, and we've mic'd up specific players. For the first couple of innings, we've mic'd up Elise Ambrose. So how awesome would it be if she can maybe run into one and connect on one as she is mic'd up. Doesn't connect on that one. It stays fair, though. They go to second base, at least get the lead runner out in Reynolds. Play made there by Holmes over at third. All right, so 1 down. No scoreboard up there as well, so I got to make sure I keep track of my outs. He is doing 3 outs, keep in mind, for these teams. In red scoreless right now, a pop-up as the left fielder is going to come in there. That's the other Odom to come in and grab the out. Well, I said we were going to do 3 outs, but apparently maybe not. Maybe only 2 outs. Might be switching things up as well. Again, we're just going with it on the fly. How about that? So 2 outs recorded there. Team Red. Team A, I should say, because there are 2 red teams. We'll keep everyone up to date on their specific team letter. Team A gets no runs to start things off. And a ground out and a pop-up there. Or I guess I should say there were 3 outs because Odom got out originally. See, that's how crazy things are. We're already miscounting the outs up there. Well, that's going to bring a new team up to bat. So we'll get a chance to take a look at Team B. They're rocking the blue, the only quad that's in blue. So we'll get a chance to look at Hannah Rose Corbin along with Paige Vincent. Those are a couple of returners onto this Lady Cougar squad. We get a chance to look at a couple of freshmen, though, Laura Harris and Tara Odom. So 2 freshmen out there, one from Powder Springs, Georgia. That's Laura Harris, and then Tara from Hawkinsville, Georgia. A couple of local Georgia products coming here to CSU. We welcome all those who have joined us here on Cougar Sports TV. We have a lot of fun here this evening especially as the half innings progress, because things are going to get crazier and crazier as Coach Huskisson is going to roll people out there on the base paths. Again, it's a 4-team scrimmage, 4-team inter-squad scrimmage. A couple of situations where someone's going to be on the move. You're going to have different base runners out there on different bases to start the inning. We just watched Team A unable to plate any runs. Some of them will be out there defensively. Coach Huskisson is rotating the defense out there as well. So you're going to have different positional players out there each and every half inning. And sometimes they're going to be switching positions. He's trying to get accustomed to where he wants certain players at. Did watch Patton make a nice snag out there in right field to kick us off on this scrimmage off the bat of Odom. Looks like Hannah Rose Corbin will be the leadoff hitter for Team B. Corbin, Vincent, Harris, and Odom. That's the 4 here for Team Blue. First pitch called strike. Get things started here for Team B. Hannah Rose Corbin. Boy, it is great to have her healthy, right? You watched her start to try to come back last season. She was only able to hit at the plate, unable to do any running as that one skirts past Emily Holmes there at short, trying to charge up on that one. It was hard hit. Could be a tough play to make, but maybe one that Coach Huskisson would like to be made. And it gets into the outfield, so Corbin's going to be over there on first base. Leadoff runner on. And she only took 4 at-bats last year, but she did connect on that monster home run. That was right here at Cougar Field. Great piece of hitting when she came in as a pinch hitter against Lynn back on March 7th. It'd be a week later where everything got shut down. As you all remember, things went crazy. The pandemic coming in and all of spring sports shutting down, unfortunately. We hope everyone out there is being safe and smart with the situations that you're in, and hopefully we'll be able to resume some ball this upcoming spring, because this is a very talented Lady Cougar squad out there. Our softball team is pretty stacked top to bottom, and it's going to be fun to watch them this upcoming season if we can get a control of everything, and hopefully things will start to slow down a little bit with the COVID virus and the pandemic out there. Second batter at the plate right now is Vincent. She pops one high. She's going to have a chance to drop. Ambrose can't get there in time, but look at third base over there in Kaiser coming all the way back, making that right in foul territory. A nice snag just in time. Looked like it might have had a chance to drop into no man's land. Duncan is the one inside the circle, by the way, one of the new pitchers on this roster for CSU. This is first chance to a glimpse that I've gotten to look at her. What a gun down right there. Oh, they're going to say that she's safe. Again, we only have one umpire here, one behind the plate. That was a nice throw behind the dish, though. Connecting on one and smacking it right into the gap out there in left center. That's a good piece of hitting. Going all the way to second base is Harris, and Vincent will come home to score. That's an RBI double by Harris. First time we've gotten a chance to look at her. Laura Harris, the freshman from Powder Springs, Georgia. And yeah, she's had a nice bat from what we've seen so far in practices. Duncan inside the circle. We watch Lexi Head lead things off for against Team A, but Team B on the board. So Vincent gives Team B, or Harris gives Team B the first run of the afternoon. That's going to bring Odom up to the plate. Yeah, 2 Odoms, no relation there. Tara Odom the new freshman from Hawkinsville, Georgia. I guess I should say, differentiate between the new freshman and the returning freshman because these players all got their eligibility back. We'll talk about that this upcoming season. But Harley Dawson, the lone senior that's returned from last year. The other seniors headed on out, but Harley Dawson has come back for the Lady Cougars. And all of the freshmen that, especially the really good, Coach Huskisson had a stacked freshman lineup last year, and they all get to return as freshmen this upcoming season. So he has a really young squad, which makes it even that much more exciting for the talent that will be here at CSU in the upcoming years. All right, Odom is over there on first, which means Hannah Rose has a chance here at the plate. 2 on, runners on first and second. Harris on second, Odom on first, and Team B already with 1 run here in this second half inning. That one in the dirt. One and one the count. That pitch is high on Corbin, 2-1. But we were talking about Hannah Rose coming off that brutal injury that she suffered, and she made her come back inside the circle. Wasn't really able to do anything at the plate, but she was able to pitch, and she tried to manage the pain that she was feeling in her leg. But it was great having her out there. One of the best pitchers inside the Peach Belt Conference, and really, honestly, inside the region. That one misses, and they're going to walk Hannah Rose to load the bases. Well, they only have 4 batters on each team, so this will be kind of fun to watch. They've got all 4 out there right now for Team B. Runner on third is Harris, and a runner over on second base in Odom. Hannah Rose is at first, but they're going to bring her back to the dugout. Again, they're being cautious with her. Don't really want her running around the base paths still. So she's heading to the dugout. They brought a pinch runner in over at first base, which means that Vincent will be the one at the plate to get it done. Bases loaded here for Paige Vincent. Vincent, the catcher / infielder, swapped around positions last season. She was a big addition to this Cougar lineup. Hit 377 last year in her 22 games. 14 RBIs. Here's a chance for Team B. Duncan's got to get out of it. Skies that one into foul territory. Ambrose racing all the way over and can't quite get there in time. Come on, Elise, you got the mic on you. I thought she was going to make a diving grab out there. Elise Ambrose rocking the mic. We've mic'd up one player. We're going to swap out every 5th half inning. So every 2.5 innings, we'll switch out mic'd up player. Picked out our 4 to mic up. Should get some good content from them. I've mic'd up Elise Ambrose. We're going to mic up Grace Kaiser, Emily Holmes, and then Morgan Elston will finish things off for us. Hopefully we'll get some fun content that we can throw up on our social media. All right, Team B, they're at the plate. They have the bases loaded, and they've already scored 1 run. Duncan, the one inside the circle. Got to get out of this jam. Has a chance to right here. Grounds it over to short. They do get 1 out. It is going to score a run. But they got the out over at first base. And it looks like that'll do it for Coach Huskisson. He's calling it on this second half inning. So we played 1 inning. Again, we're rocking through 4 different teams. But Team B able to plate home a run in that scenario. And we'll get a chance to look at Team C here in just a sec. We'll take a quick break. We'll let you stay right here, though. We'll take a quick break on the mic. We'll keep it here on the field. After 1 inning, Team B, the only one that scored so far. All right, we're back here on Cougar Sports TV. And we're getting our third half inning underway. Just had to get an update from Coach Huskisson as I was down there on the field. He also implemented, and I forgot, should have remembered this, he implemented a 5-batter max per inning. So that's what happened when the 5th batter came up there, but since the bases were loaded, he's allowing a 6th batter to come on up and to get a crack at it, and you saw the ground out to first base, so that's why the inning ended, or that half inning. But Team B ends up plating 2 runs. So right now, Team B on top with 2 runs. Team A obviously didn't get any runs. This is our first chance to take a look at Team C. All right, runner over there on first base. That one cracked just foul. This is Team C up there right now, rocking the gray unis. First chance that we get to look at Team C. See Holmes on deck, Duncan right behind her, Patton the one at the plate, and then Kennedy is up there over on first. Patton, one of the new additions here to the Lady Cougars, Lindsey Patton, Loganville, Georgia. And wow, that's a nice shot over there into right field. Runner going to advance all the way over to third base. She'll get there in time. And now advancing up to second base, wisely doing so right there is Patton. That's heads-up base running by both Kennedy and Patton. Well done there by Team C. That one going right over to short, and they're going to try to get the run over at third base. It's an interesting decision there over at short. That was Harris who's over there, and off the bag there was Kennedy, and she was kind of stuck in between home and third, but she dove back into third safely, and yeah, that's tough right there because that means that we're going to have the bases loaded. Haven't even gotten an out yet for Team Gray. All right, bases loaded here for Team Gray. And Team C is looking to try to plate a couple of runs and see if they can maybe pass Team B, who scored twice there in the first inning. That one's going to hop over Morgan Elston and skirt into the outfield. 2 runs are going to score. And they'll put the runner back over there on first base. Oh, she's going to be ruled out there, but they already plated their 5 batters there. So, yeah, there's not much that you can do in there anyway, since it's a 5-batter max per inning. So that's going to be it for Team C. First chance to look at the Gray side, and they had a nice piece of hitting right there in their half inning. I know there's a lot of crazy rules out there for those who are just joining us. Coach Huskisson is rocking this inter-squad scrimmage with 4 different teams. Team A, B, C, and D. There's a 5-batter max per inning. It's your normal 3 outs. So far, we've seen no base runners on, but he's going to swap things up as the inter-squad scrimmage progresses. He'll randomly throw out certain base runners. And basically, the name of the game is try to score as many runs as you can in your 5-batter max limit, and we'll go from there. We've seen Team A, Team B, and Team C. Now we'll get a chance to look at Team D, the final of the 4 teams out there, and Duncan will head back inside the circle. Duncan gave up 2 runs to Team B her first time out back in the second half inning, so we'll see if she can bounce back here with Team D. Team D, this is a solid team as well with Maddie Dotson, one of those returners for all of you Cougar fans. Good catcher for CSU throughout the years, now a junior. One of the very few upperclassmen, only 5 upperclassmen on this entire roster. It's crazy to think about. So Maddie Dotson for Team D, and then you'll get a chance to look at Morgan Elston, Caitlin Cooper, and Grace Kaiser. I'm not sure what their order is as far as the order that they're batting. We'll see if they go in that order, if they decide to swap things up. All right, it looks like Morgan Elston is going to be the one to lead things off here for Team D. Back inside the circle is Duncan. Duncan, the sophomore, coming all the way down from Linville, Indiana. New pitcher for CSU this upcoming season. A transfer from Wabash Valley Community College. Had a 2.14 ERA over there, helping them to the GRAC Conference Championship. First pitch settles in there for a strike. Morgan Elston, one of the fun characters on this Cougar squad. All-conference team back in 2019 as a freshman, and last season started all 23 games for them, led the teams with a .386 batting average, 8 doubles, 2 home runs, 14 RBIs. Swing and a miss there. That one just outside for a ball. 2-2 now to count. Looks like they've put Maddie Dodson on deck, so she'll be the one behind Morgan Elston. Again, 4 different teams here for our inter-squad scrimmage. A maximum of 5 batters per half inning. So keep that in mind. And you're just trying to get as many runs as you can in those 5 batters. If the bases are loaded and the 5th batter gets on base, they keep on going until there's an out. Here we go, Morgan Elston into left center field. Ambrose giving chase all the way back at the warning track and makes the grab just in front of the wall for out number 1. That's how you do it out there in left field if you're Elise Ambrose. Maybe she had a few words to say to the mic there. She is on the mic right now, mic'd up for the next, 2 half innings before we swap it on out. 1 down. So it wasn't Maddie Dotson, by the way, that was on deck. Cooper is the one on deck. So now she is at the plate. Come on, go! Come on. That pitch is high. Looking for a ball there. Off the end of the bat into foul territory. It's going to get up against the fence there and be out of play.
Whoa, right.
Coop still up there at the plate here for Team D. Again, our first look at Team D. That pitch is outside. Good eye there by Cooper. Just got a piece of that one, staying alive. And only one out here for Team D so far. It was Morgan Elston to lead things off, and then great snag out there in the left center made by Lee Sambrose. That one off the end of the bat, and it's a shot into left field. Going to be a single as it pops into the outfield grass. I'll put a run over there on first base and Cooper. So 1 down, 1 on here for Team D. Team A was the only team that didn't score 2 runs apiece for Team B and Team C in their first time up at the plate. Team D trying to follow suit here and see if they can get 2 runs of their own. Maddie Dodson shoots that one foul. Out of play. Again, it's a mixture out there in the outfield, obviously, since you can't just have 4 fielders. Coach Hutchinson has set up a defensive outfield where it just basically rotates every half inning, and he's trying to get players in different positions and different spots to see where they fit and how they do. So there's no one out there that's in a set defensive spot. They're all intertwined out there in the outfield. Duncan sends a pitch in, a swing and a miss there from Dobson. And she rips that one, and did that stay fair? Oh, just went foul. That would have been trouble out there in the outfield. Easily a double for Dobson. Would have had a chance to play Cooper from all the way over at first base. That one up the middle, nice snag made there, touching the bag at second base and getting a double play turned all by herself at shortstop. How about Harris? Showing off the defense right there. What a play made there to get out of it and to send Team D back to the dugout. No runs scored for Team D. So teams A and D, they get 0 runs there, their first time up at the plate. Meanwhile, teams B and C each scored 2 runs apiece. We'll take a quick break here on Cougar Sports TV. We'll be back second time. We'll get a chance to look at Team A coming up. All right, Team A will get a chance here to step up to the plate for the second time this afternoon in this inter-squad scrimmage, if you want to call it that, as there's 4 different teams out there, Team A, B, C, and D. 2 runs apiece for teams B and C, 0 runs apiece for teams A and D. Different situation happening here to start what is technically the 5th half inning. I believe Coach Huskisson is going to put a runner on first base to start this half inning. Guess we should see if that happens or not. I think that's what he was signaling. Again, Team A comprised of Ambrose, Dawson, Reynolds, and Odom. As you see, Reynolds, the one up at the plate right now. I mean, maybe he's not going to throw someone over there on first base. But right now, it's Reynolds, the one at the plate. Still waiting for Harley Dawson. I believe that she is in class and going to be appearing any minute to help out Team A. That's why you didn't see her earlier. New pitcher out there, by the way. First time that we'll get a chance to look at Riley Patton. She's the one inside the circle here for the Cougars. We got a couple of new Pattons out there, Riley and Lindsay. Riley gets a ground out there from Kirsten Reynolds and a good delivery from Holmes over to first base. So Riley Patton, the junior right-handed pitcher out of Loganville, Georgia originally. Played her high school ball over at Walnut Grove. That's going to be a familiar high school for you Cougar fans who have been here the past couple of seasons. Ambrose now the one at the plate after that ground out. We need to get Riley Patton against Team C, but I don't think that Coach Huskisson has lined that up, or maybe he has a little bit later. Then we'll get a chance to see the sisters go at each other. Riley Patton and Lindsay Patton. All right, here we go. Ambrose, the one at the plate. Patton inside the circle, sends that pitch in. That one just misses there. 2-0 count. It's a good count here for the big swinger at the plate. Thought about it, and now she's way ahead, sitting pretty here at 3-0. Well, she wasn't able to get it done the first time around, at least Ambrose, that is. Team A, 0 runs in the first half inning. Oh, look, there's Harley Dawson, by the way. You can't see her, but she's making her way to the field. Definitely going to help Team A out with her presence. First time that we'll get to look at her. That went way inside, not even tempting there for Ambrose. Though a strike is called there. All right. We'll keep this at bat going. Why not? Another chance to see Ambrose take a hack at one. If one's in the zone. That one, though, outside, and there's ball 4. As Ambrose will head on over to first. Just one out right now for Team A. Here's Harley Dawson. She just walked onto the field, threw a jersey on, and now is stepping up to the plate. How about that? No warm-up needed, right? That's how Harley rolls. Had a chance to talk with her in the off-season during our quarantine period. A chance to do a Zoom call with her and to see her thoughts on quarantine life and how the team was doing and what her plans were. And again, she's that one senior that has made her way back here to this Cougar squad. Pitching 15 games last season before the season got shut down. And she had one of her best seasons so far, just a 2.51 ERA with 58 strikeouts. Really starting to get onto something there inside the circle. Lays off that pitch. Just one out, but Team A is still looking for their first run. Scored on their first time up. That pitch low, but a swing and a miss there from Dawson. 2-2 now the count. Even count, Ambrose won over at first base with one out. Teams B and C, they each scored 2 runs. Teams A and D, no runs. All 4 teams have batted once, so this is the second time up for these 4 teams as that one's fouled back. We're playing 20 total half innings for those who have just joined us here on the broadcast. Again, 20 total half innings. So each team will get a chance to bat 5 times. The name of the game, score as many runs as you can in those 5 times, although there are some stipulations in different scenarios each of these 5 times. To first base they go. They get Harley Dawson out for out number 2 while Ambrose moves over to second base. So 2 down. Good play made there as the ball hopped up over at third base on Kaiser, but she did a good job at getting the only out that she would have been able to do so at first. Pitch sent in by Patton. New batter up there. It's Odom. It's going to be on the bat of Odom here as there's already 2 outs. Again, a 5 batter max per inning. This is only the 4th batter right now here for Team Red. But Coach Huskisson has instituted a 5 batter max per half inning. Patton's pitch goes right back to the glove of Patton. Nice snag there inside the circle and got the job done. So Patton, first time we've seen her inside the circle, doesn't give up any runs. Team A still scoreless. We'll take a quick break. We'll see what Team B has after this. All right, we're back here with Team B stepping up to the plate. So our second time to take a look at them. Played at 2 runs their first time up. In fact, they were the team that had the bases loaded there before getting their final out. Hannah Rose Corbin with Vincent Harris and then the other Odom. Getting back inside the circle, it's going to be Head this time around. So third time we'll get a chance to look at Lexi Head inside the circle, the junior for Columbus Day. You remember her from last year. She was on this roster for CSU last season. A couple of appearances for the Cougars. Pitched 10 innings with 9 strikeouts. She was a transfer from Campbell originally. She threw 17 2/3 innings in her sophomore season. Still a junior, though, obviously, as the classes have stayed the same for these players, with the spring season getting canceled halfway through last year. So 0 runs each time for Team A, unable to score their first and second times up at the plate. Team B, they're back up there. Second time we'll get to see them. They're tied with Team C, 2 runs apiece. Looks like Harris will be the one to lead things off here for Team B, by the way. So Harris and Odom, followed up with Corbin and Vincent. And they have put a runner over there on first base. So here's one of the situations that Coach Huskisson has rolled out. Runner over there on first base. It looks like it's Vincent over there on first. So they're starting with the runner on first. No outs, though. Again, that's part of the name of the game. It's unfair. Good. Now deal with it and win the situation, as Coach Huskisson says. So got to deal with it. Runner over there on first to start. And by the way, not every single team is going to have the same situation. He's mixed things up for different teams to make it harder on some. You might think it's unfair, but that's how it goes. Into right field, speaking of going, goes Harris. And it's going to put runners on now second and third. That's a great job by Harris. Not only the piece of hitting, but to advance over to second base on the throw to third as they try to get Vincent out. So that puts runners on second and third with no outs and brings Tara Odom to the plate. Check swing, but it's foul tip back. Odom, one of those slap hitters for Columbus State. Hawkinsville, Georgia. She graduated over at Perry High School. It's a first-team All-State selection. 4-time first-team All-Region player as well. And, yeah, you'll get that if you hit 500 as a senior. That's what she did last season for Perry High. All right, Lexi Head. She's got to work herself out of this jam. And they started with the runner on first. Single and advancing to second was Harris. So let's put runners on second and third with no outs. That one slowly rolled over to short. A diving stop made by Holmes, but no play to make. It's going to be tough to get Odom out at first base from her knees, and wisely just kind of eats it there at the shortstop position. So a runner comes across, though, for Team B. That's their third run of the afternoon. Here's Hannah Rose Corbin. Strike call to start this at bat. Runners over on first and second. That pitch, a little flare into right center, and a good job there backing up with Duncan to make the snag at second base. Just got underneath that one and looped it into Duncan's glove. First out. Vincent, who was on first base to start off the inning, now will get a chance to be over there at the plate. They bring a pinch runner onto second base since Harris will be the next one at the plate. Let her get inside the on-deck circle. Only one out, runners on first and second. One run is scored here for Team B. Their second time at the plate, which means they've got a total of 3 runs now. Down, back, and out of play. That one rolled to the backstop. Didn't even make it to the plate there. It's a wild pitch is going to allow the runners to advance to second and third. Trouble brewing here. Is Team B the one at the plate? But again, keep in mind the maximum of 5 batters per inning will be instituted. Vincent slowly rolls it over to second base. They're going to get Odom out at the plate, or I guess the pinch runner that was running. Granted, it was the other Odom that was running, but runner out at the plate. That's a nice play defensively made there by Duncan over at second. Keeps a run off the board. Only 1 run still so far in this second time at the plate for Team B. Last chance here. Harris. Unless, again, they load the bases, and then Coach Huskisson will let them go past the 5-batter minimum. That pitch outside for a ball. Lexi Head has a chance to get out of this jam. Having only given up 1 run, and that 1 run was a batter that started on first base anyway, since Coach Hutchinson decided to put a runner over on first base to start anyways. All right, so we'll keep rolling since, again, if they end up loading the bases, Coach Huskisson did decide to do more than the 5-batter minimum. So he's decided to keep this inning going. So bases are loaded right now for Team B. It's Tara Odom, one at the plate. She'll get a chance to see if they can keep things going. Tack on any additional runs. We need 1 run scored here for Team B, this second time up at the plate. It's pitch, and it's just going to get over the head of Emily Holmes. 1 run is going to score. They're going to wave a second one home. Dodson's going to tag her out. That'll be the 3rd out there for Team B as Vincent is out at the plate, but 2 total runs should have scored there for Team B, which will bring their total to 4. So Team B, they scored twice the first time up, twice here the second time up. We'll double check with Coach Huskisson in a second, and we'll get a chance to see Team C for the second time this afternoon. We'll take a quick break here on Cougar Sports TV.
fighters that was here.
All right, we're back here on Cougar Sports TV. Get our second chance to look at Team C here. It's Team B that's in the lead. They've got 4 runs compared to 2 for Team C, and then zeros up on the board so far for Teams A and D. We welcome those who have joined us here on Cougar Sports TV, a special edition of Columbus State softball here at Cougar Field. Again, we had some technical difficulties, so we don't have our TriCaster and camera, which means we're just showing you the field via my personal laptop and on my hotspot, so things hopefully are running smooth for the time being. But we should be ready to keep on rolling through these half innings. Again, Coach Huskinson, he's rolling out with just 20 different half innings. We're about a little over a quarter of the way through. We've got Team C up there for the second time today.
Plug in the TriCaster if you haven't been.
Team C up there in second. All right, Team C, the one at the plate. I'll give a shout out to our technical support as they've come in here and rewired everything for our TriCaster. So we should be able to be up and running next time we come on out here with our TriCaster and cameras, and we'll get everything set up the traditional way. But look, we just roll with the punches, right? When things go haywire, we set up a laptop and a hotspot and try to make it happen for our softball fans out there. All right, second time we get a chance to look at Team C, and it's Holmes. She's the one at the plate right now to lead things off. Crushes one over to third base, and look at that, a throw over to first. They try to get the double play, not quite in time. Nice piece of base running there. Again, they put a lead runner on second base to start, by the way. So that's what happened there for Team C. But one down. Watched Emily Holmes there for Team C. Ground out over to third base. Inside the circle, it's Duncan. So again, this will be the third time that we'll just see Duncan inside the circle. Into left field it goes, and the out will be made there. It's going to be out number 3. So Team C, nothing up there for Team C. We'll take a quick break, head on over to Team D, and we'll see what they can do. They're one of 2 teams without a single run. Teams A and Team D still scoreless. See if they can put a run up on the board for the first time. We're back here on Cougar Sports TV. Team D coming up for the second time. So now we'll have a chance to look at every team so far twice. Again, shout out to our technical support. They were up here resetting up everything, all of the wires. Our modem and internet box was completely taken when I came up here this afternoon to start the live stream. No idea where it went. Apparently it's been missing for a while now. I wasn't quite prepared for that, so that's why we're broadcasting on my personal laptop. I've turned it around. Sorry, I can't really move it and zoom in. I know it's not the best quality, but we had to make do, and just rocking the AirPods right now. Don't have a way to really mute me either, so since my computer is turned around facing the field, got no computer, no way to really do anything other than just talk like I've been talking and roll with the punches, and that's what we're doing here on Cougar Sports TV. We're just here to have some fun. It's a Friday afternoon. Hopefully you're having a good time wherever you're at, and wherever you're coming and joining us, be sure to give us a shout out on our chat or on our Twitter at CSU Cougars SB. Make sure to follow this softball team on Twitter and let us know where you're watching from and your support of this Cougar softball team. Team D getting up there for the second time here this afternoon. Dodson, Elston, Cooper, and Kaiser. That's the four for Team D. And it looks as though Kaiser will be the one to lead things off here as she takes the visor off. She does have the mic on as well. You can see that in her back pocket. So good to have Kaiser mic'd up here for the Cougars. We had Ambrose mic'd up to start things off. They're switching every 5 half innings. That way we can get 4 different players to be mic'd up here in this scrimmage. That pitch called strike. Good ball sent in there. It's Team D, which means that we're getting a chance to look at Riley Patton inside the circle for the second time. She put a 0 up there the first time up against Team A. Trying to do it again here against Team D. It looks like there's no one on the base paths here to start this half inning, so Coach Huskisson has put no one on to start this half inning. Foul tip off the home plate umpire's mask. We'll do it again with Patton inside the circle. Kaiser, the one at the plate. That pitch outside misses for a ball. 2-2 now the count. Patton's pitch hit hard over to third base. Holmes has moved from short to third, and she delivers for out number 1. Holmes the one at third base. You see Duncan over at second. Lindsey Patton at first. Got Harris over there at short. And then Ambrose, Kennedy, and Odom left, center, and right in the outfield. Meanwhile, second time we've gotten to see Riley Patton inside the circle. Trying to put up back-to-back zeros here. Again, this is the first time that we've gotten to take a look at Riley Patton, the transfer from North Georgia. See the change up there, and out in front of that one, fouling it off, is Elston. Kaiser with the ground out. Elston the one at the plate. Team D also has Cooper and Dodson. Swing and a miss there as Elston strikes out. That's a nasty pitch thrown in there from Patton. hit the brakes on that one and sent it in low and gets the strikeout. Two quick outs. Looking to make it 3 up, 3 down. I think that's going to be the first 3 up, 3 down that we've seen in any of these half innings so far. Left-handed hitter at the plate right now, patting the one inside the circle. Cooper trying to keep this inning alive here for Team D and really trying to get anything going because Team A and Team D, the only ones that are scoreless so far. Swing and a miss there. 2 strikes here for Cooper down to their final strike. 1-2 the count. Cooper last year for CSU. Hit .317 for them. They thought that was going to end up being a strikeout there. Instead, it's a full count. Got to refocus here if you're Patton. Cooper at the plate. Payoff pitch upcoming from Patton, and it's just fouled back. Once we get the final out here for Team D, it means that we'll have seen each team twice so far. Again, you're going to see each team bat 5 separate times. 20 total half innings. We're about to be 8 half innings through. 1 out away from it, 1 strike away from it, and there it is. Patton records the K. Couple of Ks in that half inning for Patton inside the circle. So no runs still for Teams D and Team A. Meanwhile, it's Team B. They're in the lead with 4 runs. You're watching Cougar Sports TV. All right, we're back here on Cougar Sports TV. We are approaching the halfway point here of our inter-squad scrimmage. Again, 4 teams out there for those who have just joined us. We've had a chance now to see each team bat twice. 3rd time around here for Team A, one of 2 teams that is scoreless. Right now it's Team B. They're on top, 4 runs. Team C with 2 runs, and then Teams A and D each with no runs. Got to get on the board here if you're A and D. And Kirsten Reynolds the one to lead things off here for Team A. And guess what? They've got a runner on second base to start. Oh, just turned on one. A little bit out in front of that one. So, yeah, heads up. Team A is starting with a runner on second base with Lexi Head, the one inside the circle here for the Lady Cougars defensively. The runner on second base to start the inning as Coach Huskisson has put a runner over there on second, and Kirsten Reynolds will lead off here to open things up. Team A looking for their first run of the afternoon. Full count here for Reynolds. That pitch just misses outside. Great eye there by Kirsten Reynolds. That's the second walk that she's already drawn here this afternoon. She's over there at first base. She puts runners on first and second here for Elise Ambrose. All right, Team A, if you want to score a run, well, here's your chance. One of two teams that is scoreless still. But they've got a big power hitter in Elise Ambrose up at the plate. Of course, I'm sure she's going to come up with a big hit here now that she's got the mic off. First pitch sent in. Misses low there for ball number 1. Another ball delivered in. It's going to make the count 2-0.
Oh, that's right.
We watched Elise Ambrose draw a walk earlier as well for Team A. They just haven't been able to deliver when they've gotten those runners on. That's high. Oh, does Ambrose have the green light? So we'll find out here if she does. Sitting in a 3-0 count with runners on first and second and no outs. Still no runs on the board for Team A, and Ambrose is going to look at a strike all the way. 3-1.
Oh, that's right.
The 3-1 pitch. That's a knuckleball over there to the second baseman, Duncan, and a nice play. Just get Ambrose out at first for the short out. Topspin on that one. One out. They started with a runner on second. Reynolds worked her way over to first base. And then in a 3-1 count, Ambrose grounded out to second there. So runners over on second and third with only one out, and Harley Dawson now at the plate. Dawson hits it well, dead center field. See if it's deep enough to try to score the run. They are going to make the throw to the plate, and eventually touching home plate is Odom. Getting in the face there of Grace Kaiser. That should be some good content because I think we ended up miking up Grace Kaiser here for the next couple innings. She would have been out. She blocked the plate there and just couldn't come up with the ball as the ball squirted out. Odom was going to be out there at the plate. They have a good laugh about that one. How about that, Team A? They're on the board. 2 down, though, with the runner in Ambrose, who's now over there at third base, as Reynolds has gone to be on deck. She'll be up behind Odom. Strike called on the outside there. Tough break for Odom to start this AB. That one goes inside on Odom, and it's fouled off. Strike 2. Only saw 4 at bats last year, but did end up scoring 3 runs. She came in, obviously, in a number of pinch running spots for the Lady Cougars, the speed of Odom. Though she has been thrown out at the plate once earlier in this scrimmage when she came in as a pinch runner. Swing and a miss there. It's going to be strike number 3, which gets Lexi Head out of it. So Team A, they get a couple runners on, but only able to bring 1 run across. Though it is their first run of the scrimmage. How about that? They're on the board. So 4 runs for Team B, 2 for Team C, 1 for Team A, and Team B still scoreless. Get a chance to look at the leaders coming up after this. Team B, they're the ones up at the plate here on Cougar Sports TV. Appreciate all those who have joined us here this afternoon. Thought we'd bring you a fun little inter-squad scrimmage with our Cougar softball team down at Cougar Field. Right across the way, looks like they just wrapped up an inter-squad over at Ragsdale Field. Our baseball team huddling up, and looks like they're going to be wrapping things up with their scrimmage. Soccer, meanwhile, they've got a scrimmage going on over at the Walden Soccer Complex. All of our teams in action. We just broadcasted a basketball scrimmage yesterday. Just making things happen here on the university. All right, Hannah Rose Corbin, she's going to lead things off here for Team B. By the way, Team A, they scored their first run just now. They are on the board. Score is 4-2 to 1-0. Team B, the ones at the plate, in the lead with 4 runs. Looking to add to it. Again, we're going to see each team bat 5 separate times here this afternoon in this 4-team inter-squad scrimmage. Second pitch misses there. Duncan, the one back inside the circle. So we've seen a heavy dose of Lexi Head and Duncan, 2 pitchers so far. We've got to see Riley Patton a couple of times. We'll see, for the most part from here on out, we'll see Patton, Harley Dawson, and Hannah Rose Corbin inside the circle. This is the final half inning before we've reached the halfway point. Again, we're playing 20 total half innings. This is the 10th half inning right here. Hannah Rose Corbin, a comebacker right up the gut. They started with a runner on second, and they're going to hold her at third. It was Odom over there on second, who wisely stays at third. But Hannah Rose Corbin with runners on the corners. Hard piece of hitting on that ball right up the middle. So Corbin over at first, Odom at third. Paige Vincent, the one at the plate, and then Harris on deck. Pop-up. Shortstop going to be there. Didn't reach the grass as Holmes makes the grab in the dirt for out number one. Duncan's done pretty well inside the circle. Gave up those 2 runs to start, but gave up 0 runs the last 2 times. Once against Team B and once against Team C. This is her first time playing Team B. Going to call her infield out there. Again, the infield and the outfield, really all defensive positions have been switching every single half inning. So it's a little complicated to tell you who's at what base in each position every single half inning, but I'll keep you up to date anytime a ball does go their way. Holmes has seen a lot of action at short and third. Kaiser right now, the one over there at third base. Looks like he's put KR at catcher here with Duncan inside the circle.
Ball. That's right.
2-0 the count. Duncan's pitch is sent into left field for another single. That's going to score a run here for Team B. So they are on the board here in their 3rd time up at the plate, giving them a game-leading 5 total runs. Runners on first and second. Odom at the plate. After Odom, they'll get a chance to look at Hannah Rose one more time. Swing and a miss there.
Hey. Ball. That's right.
And a called strike there against Odom.
Ball. That's right.
1-2 now the count. Two-two pitch, softly hit over to first base, and they're not going to make any play. Elston wasn't able to get there in time with the speed of Odom. And it loads the bases up. Trouble here with Team B at the plate, and if you're all the other teams, you don't want Team B to score anything, but now you've got Hannah Rose Corbin at the plate with the bases loaded. And she promptly skies one high in the air towards right field, coming up and making the grab out there. In right field is the other Odom. It will score 1 run on the sac fly. Attack on another run for Team B. 2nd run here this half inning for Team B, so it gives them a total of 6 runs. They've scored 2 runs each time. Duncan trying to get out of it. Paige Vincent looks at a ball to start. By the way, you couldn't ask for better weather. We were trying to do the scrimmage last week and then just had awful weather with a hurricane coming through and thunderstorms happening here. The field was completely soaked and had our scrimmage rained out, unfortunately, last Friday. So it's good to be back here on the broadcast, even with all of our technical difficulties. Sun is shining, beautiful mid-October weather. Duncan's pitch, that was a high one. And they're going to get the lead runner out at second base. That'll be out number 3, but not before Team B. They played 2 more runs, so we are halfway through here. Halfway through our 20 half innings. We're 10 half innings in, and right now it's Team B on top of everyone. They've got 6 total runs compared to just 2 for Team C and 1 for Team A. We'll take a quick break. We'll get to see Team C up after this. This will be our third look here at Team C. Right now, currently in second place with 2 runs, but everyone trailing Team B is out in front with 6 total runs. Okay, Team C. See what they got for us here. Rocking the gray tops. Kennedy, Patton, and that's the Fab 4 for Team C. Strike called to start this at bat. Riley Patton has entered this circle again. She has been phenomenal. Put up 2 zeros her first 2 times inside the circle. That one high, and it goes to the backstop. By the way, they started with the runner on second base, who's going to advance over to third base. So keep that in mind. The runner started on the base paths here in this half inning for Team C. Moved him over to third. Just like that, 60 feet away from putting a run up on the board is Team C. And they're going to get it right here as that one's going to bounce into the outfield for a single, and it'll plate a run for the gray team, Team C. On the board here in this half inning. First run that Patton has given up. Had the wild pitch and then gave up the single, just played a run. Well, here's one of the matchups we were looking for. Team C finally up at the plate, and you've got Riley Patton, sister on sister here in this inning. Good hack there at the plate for Team C. And everyone's trying to catch up to Team B right now. It's well out in front with 6 total runs scored. And 4 different teams playing out there. It's Team B with 6 runs. Team C right now trying to catch their way up. 2-2 now the count. They've got 3 total runs so far. Holmes the one on deck. Pitch misses there. Ball 3. It's going to make it a full count. The lefty off the end of the bat. Ambrose isn't going to get there in time. It's going to be well foul, though. You see Duncan over there at first base for Team C. And Patton. That one goes over to Elston, diving for it at second. Can't quite get it into the glove. It'll be a tough play to make regardless. Elston gave it a whirl, though. And put runners on first and second. Means that Emily Holmes will come up to the plate here. They'll bring Duncan back to the on-deck spot and put a pinch runner over on second base. Again, only 4 players per team, so a lot of maneuvering out there on the base paths. Holmes shows bunt. Oh, no, she popped it up. It's going to drop, though, and Dodson's unable to make the throw in time over to first base, which means everyone's going to be safe. Somehow, Holmes escaped there. As you see, Coach Huskisson, that's a good teaching opportunity in a moment here for Coach Huskisson and this team as relay some information to them and what he feels they should have done defensively or something that they can do differently there or how they can work out of those situations. But you're going to see stuff like that happen all the time, especially in the game of softball. Laying those bunts down, trying to move the runners up, and then if you're unable to get that pop-up, you got to immediately throw it over to first base unless the runners are holding and you have a chance at second or third. But everyone had started to move up, and the only play to make there is to try to hurry up and get it to first in time. Yeah, everyone's safe there in that opportunity or in that situation. That one goes right back to Patton inside the circle. They were almost able to turn a line-out double play there. Nice snag there, though, as Patton turned the glove around and had Duncan line out right into it. Still, that's only the first out. Boy, if Patton could work out of the bases loaded jam here, that would be mighty impressive. She has been fun to watch so far inside the circle. First glance that we're getting to look at both her and her sister, the 2 Pattons out there. Great pitch sent in to start this, AB. Riley Patton inside the circle. It goes right back to her again. They'll get the force out at the plate. And that'll end it for Team C. Riley Patton working herself out of a major jam there to help out those who are against Team C. All right, we'll get a chance to look at Team D coming up after this. This will be the 3rd time for Team D. They're the only team without a run. See if they can put a run up on the board here on Cougar Sports TV. Call them and see if they else. You can go back on it. You take your time. Just call him and see if he has the battery. If not, I'm not sure. Oh, here, let's use this one.
Perfect. Sweet, thank you. But that's weird, wherever that battery went.
Yeah. All right, Team D, still looking for them to put a run up there on the board in this one. They will come up to the plate here. Team B is the one that everyone is chasing right now. Team B in the lead here with 6 runs. Team C, though, they just put a run up there, so that's their 3rd run of the game. Team A got on the board there last time with 1 run, and now it's up to Team D, the only team with a donut. That one is fouled out of play. Good news for Team D, they will start with 1 runner on. How about that? They get a runner on the base paths. Only at first, though, so not in scoring position to start, but a runner nonetheless that Coach Huskisson has given them. But Harley Dawson inside the circle. So a tough start here for Team D. First time we get to see Harley Dawson inside the circle, and they take off for second base to put a runner in scoring position. Again, Team D consists of Dodson, Elston, Cooper, and Kaiser. We got Kaiser on deck, Dodson at the plate, Elston behind Kaiser, and Cooper out there on second. It's a stacked team. Again, surprising to see them without any runs so far. Maybe this will be their opportunity to come through right here. These are, by the way, 4 really fun players on the team. I've gotten to know Maddie Dodson over the years. Great person on and off the field. Morgan Elston, Cooper, and Kaiser. Kaiser had the mic. I believe she just swapped the mic. So it should be time for Emily Holmes to be wearing the mic now before Morgan Elston wraps things up on the mic. Sure, we'll get some fun content from those 4. Harley Dawson. That pitch fouled back. Nice snack there by the home plate ump. Runner on second base here for Team D. That pitch is high from Dawson. Full count. Payoff pitch upcoming from Dawson, and that one's going to be fouled out of play, and we'll run it back on top of the visiting dugout. Maddie Dodson, the catcher over the years for CSU. She had a great year last year before the season got put to a halt, hitting over 300. 4 extra base hits. Here comes the 3-2 pitch inside, called strike. You know a catcher is never going to love a call like that. Called third strike there on the inside on Dodson. Out number 1. Dodson can't believe it. And it brings Grace Kaiser to the plate. So the mic on the field is with Emily Holmes. See her over at third base, it looks like. Holmes at third. Duncan over at second, Patton at first. They put Harris at short. Two Odoms in the outfield, left and right, and then Caitlin Kennedy patrolling center. That pitch inside on Kaiser. She backs away. Always fun having these inter squads. Teammates against teammates, friends against friends, roommates against roommates. This adds to the spirit of competition out there. Dawson's pitch. She went with a changeup there, and it was hit into center field for a single. It's going to be an RBI single as Team D is going to get on the board. Kaiser is going to head over to second base. She'll get in there with standing up without having to slide in. And Team D on the board. Get rid of that donut. Team D has scored. Got a chance to add to it with Elston at the plate and Kaiser in over at second. $14 RBIs last year for Morgan Elston. She was tied with Paige Vincent for the team lead. Also had 14 runs, third on the team. She lives for these type of situations, but she skies that one towards center field. That's going to be recorded for an out. Quite good runner to advance or anyone else in, so it will stay with one run so far, and it'll come down to the bat of Cooper. Caitlin Cooper started to hit in that leadoff spot for CSU last season. Big addition to that lineup, hitting .500. She was just so impressive. We had moved Caitlin Kennedy into that leadoff spot. Both her and Cooper had kind of been roaming around. Kennedy hitting .500. Caitlin Cooper hitting .268.
Come on. Right.
11 hits last year, 6 RBIs for CSU. One that was good at drawing walks at the plate last year as she looks at a ball there that's high. Right around second base. Team D has scored one run here, and they called third strike on the outside. It was inside on Dodson, outside on the lefty Cooper. 2 Ks there by Dawson inside the circle. So one run comes across. All right, we've seen all 4 teams bat 3 times apiece. It's Team B out in front with 6 runs, Team C in second with 3 runs, and Teams A and D with 1 run apiece. Take a quick break. You're watching Cougar Sports TV. We're back here on Cougar Sports TV as we are getting set to see Team A come up for the 4th time this afternoon. We welcome those who have joined us here for this inter-squad scrimmage. It's been fun here this Friday afternoon. Each team will get a chance to bat 2 more times. For those who have just joined us, it's 4 separate teams. Teams A, B, C, and D. The name of the game, it's called It's Unfair, Good, Now Deal With It, and Win the Sit. And as Coach Huskisson has set up, it's different situations where each team will start off with maybe no runners on, maybe a runner on. But you get your normal 3 outs. Unless you face and have at least 5 batters come up, because it is a 5-batter maximum per half inning. He's going to start with the 0-0 count for most of these at-bats unless things decide to change down the stretch. But right now, Team A in this situation is starting with a runner on third base. That's right, runner on third and no outs with Hannah Rose Corbin inside the circle. So Corbin, this is the first time that we'll get to see Corbin here inside the circle this afternoon. And she's going to have to do some work against Team A with the runner starting over at third base and no outs. It's Kirsten Reynolds, the one at the plate. Swing and a miss there. Got her. Well, that's doing some work right there if you're Corbin. And it's got to be obviously frustrating, but also really good for our offense to go up against Hannah Rose Corbin inside the circle day after day after day. It's good because you're getting practice against one of the best pitchers in the nation, but it's bad because, well, she just throws electric stuff inside the circle, and it's tough to have to hit against all the time. But our first look at Hannah Rose Corbin inside the circle, she'll pitch 4 half innings. So this one of the 4, and the first time that we get to see her. Picked up a strikeout to start. Runner over there is still at third base. It's Odom. Elise Ambrose, the one at the plate, though. Trying to get Team A some points. Or some runs, excuse me. We haven't seen them be able to do much damage this afternoon. They've only scored 1 run so far. Apparently, you can tell I'm in basketball mode after yesterday. Throwing out points terminology there. It's just been one of those weeks. We were over at baseball, helping them out. Then we went down to tennis, did a basketball broadcast yesterday. Over at softball now today, doing their broadcast. Our women's soccer team is rolling with their inter-squad scrimmage broadcast as well right now. Just things are happening. We're all over the place right now, but it's really fun to be out here, to finally be out here at Cougar Field for a year broadcast here with our softball team. Again, we had a bunch of technical difficulties to start. We lost our internet, so again, I apologize. We don't have any of our equipment out here. The audio that you're hearing is coming from my AirPods, and the video that you're seeing is coming from my MacBook. Yep, that's right. I just flipped it around so that we can get a screen of the field because, again, we had complete internet meltdown here inside the press box, so we have no TriCaster, no cameras, no nothing. It's just my MacBook on my hotspot with my AirPods and myself up here in the press box running this show solo style. There's a ball sent in to Elise Ambrose. Should be a full count here. Ambrose has found herself in 3 ball counts all afternoon. Drawn herself a walk. We watched her ground out on a 3-1 count last time up. Here she is again with a full count this time. Payoff pitch. Grounded right back to Corbin inside the circle. Took a peek. Threw it over the first base. She's got 2 outs. Wow. Again, she started in this situation with a runner on third and no outs. And she picked up a strikeout of Reynolds. Got a ground out there to herself from Ambrose. up to the bat of Harley Dawson for Team A. Here we go. Harley Dawson now at the plate for Team A. Looks at a ball that's high and inside there to open things up. Remember, Dawson came in. She missed her team's first time up at the plate. She was getting here late from classes. Made her way over to the field as her second team was batting. In fact, she threw on her jersey and walked right up to the plate to take some live swings. No time to warm up. 2-0 the count. Corbin goes off speed, misses there, and she's quickly behind 3-0. It would be extremely impressive if Corbin can find her way out of this. Had to start with the runner on third base, got a strikeout, a ground out, and throws a strike there to make it a 3-1 count. Trying to go 3 up, 3 down, despite Coach Huskisson putting a runner over at third with no outs to start. That pitch slowly rolled over to third. A chance to go 1, 2, 3, and she does. Hannah Rose Corbin. Welcome back inside the circle. First time we get to see her. Strikeout, ground out, ground out. 3 up, 3 down. Nothing happening for Team A. 0 up there on the board. We'll get a chance to look at Team B. They're leading the way with 6 runs after this. What's that? Yeah, sure. Yeah, send that to me. Team B will get things started here in the what is known as the 13th half inning. Again, we're playing 20 half innings here this afternoon. One of our inter-squad scrimmage with 4 different teams. Teams A, B, C, and D. We're getting a look at Team B here for the 4th time this afternoon. They are going to start with a runner on third base. We just watched Team A start with a runner on third and not score a run. Hannah Rose Corbin inside the circle, shut down half inning. But a strikeout and a couple of groundouts. We'll get a chance to look at Riley Patton, try to match that because Team B starting with a runner on third, and they're the team in the lead right now with 6 total runs. Riley's pitch misses high there for a ball. This CSU softball team, man, they were really starting to come into their own last year. Had a 14-9 record, but swept through their first conference weekend. They were unbelievable here at Cougar Field. 13-3 record to start. It was a lot of fun to watch this team. And obviously, things happened with the COVID pandemic, and the season got shut down. But Coach Huskisson loves the talent that he has on this squad. It really feels like they have a chance to do some damage this upcoming season. Pitch goes foul. Right at Coach Huskisson. And Team B, who we're seeing now at the plate, comprised of Corbin, Vincent, Harris, and Odom. Vincent over there on third base. Runner again starting at third base in this half inning. Oh, they're going to say ball 4 on that one. Everyone on the infield thought it was a strike. Patton can't believe it. I'm not even sure Harris can believe that it was ball 4, but she'll head over to first and put runners on the corners for Odom. Don't want to load the bases again for Corbin. We saw that happen earlier. Got to find a way to at least get one out here if you're Riley Patton. Swing and a miss there. Missing low is Patton. 2-1 the count. Runners on first and third. Team B with 6 total runs. They're leading everyone way out in front, to be honest. Team C next closest with only 3. That one's fouled out of play. Team A only has 1 run. Team D with just 1 run as well. And all Team B here in this one. Chance to add to it, and they're going to hit into center field for a single. It will plate Paige Vincent, who started over at third base. No outs, and another run comes across for Team B. 7 total runs now, up by 4. Team B has been coming up with clutch hits here this afternoon. Corbin trying to maybe potentially deliver that knockout blow up at the plate right now with 2 on. That pitch misses there. Good eye. High strike called there on Corbin. 2-2 the count. Only 4 at-bats last year for Corbin coming off that injury, but one home run with 3 RBIs. She can connect on one at any point. Always got to be on the lookout when Corbin is at the plate. Full count, though. Payoff pitch just stays alive. We'll do this one again. Runners on first and second. The 3-2. Oh, and change up on her and got her out in front of that one. It's a great pitch. That changeup by Patton has been devastating so far this afternoon. Ball hit in the center field, and that's going to be an easy out to make. 2 down. Right now, Team B, they've only gotten that 1 run across with the runner starting over at third base. Otherwise, Patton, she's, for the most part, done a good job at working herself out of that jam. So runners on first and second base here for Team B. Harris thought about it. Comes pitch from Patton down the pipe for a strike. Patton and this defense got a chance to get out of it with only giving up 1 run. There's strike number 2, so they're 1 strike away. Oh, got it right there. This time around, she gets the outside corner. Didn't get it before earlier in this frame. A called third strike there as Riley Patton only gives up 1 run, that runner that started on third base. So Team B, though, 7 total runs they've added to their lead. Team C in second place right now with just 3, and then Teams D and A each with only 1 run apiece. Well, Team C, they got a chance to get back into it. We'll take a break. We'll see them after this. All right, Team C coming to the plate here for the 4th time. Again, each team will get a chance to bat 5 separate times. Five different times for each team up at the plates in this 20 half-inning scrimmage, inter-squad scrimmage, with 4 separate teams. Teams A, B, C, E, and D. We just saw Team B, who is in the lead, and add to it with their 7th run of the afternoon. Inside on that bat, that'll be out number 1. They're going to try to go home. Dotson couldn't quite apply the tag. Excuse me, that was KR down there at the home plate. As Team C will slide in safely. So they started with a runner over at third base, and they get a run to open up their 4th time at the plate. And Coach Huskisson just kind of rolling out with different ideas and thoughts on situations to put out there. Dawson inside the circle, so we'll get a chance to see Harley Dawson for the 2nd time. We watched Hannah Rose Corbin have to start with a batter on 3rd, and she worked herself out of the jam. Patton ended up giving up just the 1 run, the runner that started on 3rd base. And Dawson gave up that run to the runner on 3rd base. As you see, Ambrose come all the way in to make the grab. But that's going to be 2 outs here for Dawson, 2 quick outs. Team C did collect their 4th run of the afternoon, but all of these teams are running out of opportunities, running out of outs to try to overtake Team B. Here's Duncan at the plate. Makes it a ball to start. Hits that one well in the left field, but Ambrose is there for out number 3. Quick work. How about that from Harley Dawson, the lone senior, showing out. We'll see Team D coming up after this.
Wait.
Fourth time that we'll get to see Team D up at the plate here on Cougar Sports TV, part of our Friday evening scrimmage. It's now, I guess, evening time here, past 5 o'clock local time. Team D trying to get back into it. Everyone chasing Team B. Right now, Team D only with one total run. They scored their first run, finally, their last time up at the plate. We'll get a chance to look at Team B for the fourth time, and then it will be back to Team A, and everyone will bat one final time to wrap up the scrimmage. Again, 4 separate teams out there for those who have just joined us. Team B on top of everyone with 7 total runs. Hannah Rose Corbin out there inside the circle for the second time today. We just saw her for the first time a couple of frames ago, and she was lights out. Strikeout, ground out, all starting with a runner on third base. Didn't give up a run. This time around, it looks like Coach Huskisson has put a runner on second base against Hannah Rose. So she'll still have to start with a runner in scoring position in this scenario. See if she can get out of it for the second time. Team D trying to lay down a bunt there. Popped out of play. Team D comprised of Dodson, Elston, Cooper, and Kaiser. Saw Kaiser the one at the plate. Cooper over on second. Cooper's got some wheels too. If Kaiser can put it into play and try to hit a single to give Cooper an opportunity. Team D only with 1 run so far. All called there. 2-2 the count. Even count here for Kaiser, the freshman out of Cumming, Georgia. Looks at a called third strike right down the pipe. That had some heat on it. No doubt about that one. So that puts Hannah Rose Corbin at 2 strikeouts, in the 4 batters that she's faced. 2 strikeouts and 2 groundouts so far. She will be pitching for 2 of the final half innings. So we'll get to see her 2 more times inside the circle after this frame. Hudson struck out the last time she was up on what appeared to be, at least in her eyes, a ball on the inside. Looked like a ball. It was going to be ball 4. It was a full count pitch. Runner on second base. Corbin's pitch, that one outside.
Ball, 1 strike.
2-1 the count. Well, Coach Huskisson, he's brought a umpire in here to help out for this inter-squad scrimmage. There's a strike called inside on Dodson again. You can't believe it. You know when a catcher rolls their eyes or gets frustrated, that you tend to lean towards the catcher's eye there, or they at least expect to get the calls their way when they're behind the plate. But yeah, it's definitely frustrating. You see it happen all the time. It's all baseball. Catchers can get frustrated when calls like that go against them and they're not getting it themselves behind the plate. Runner on second base. Here we go. Corbin's pitch just staying alive there is Dodson. We'll do it again with Dodson at the plate. Off speed, Dodson hits it well into left center towards the gap out there, and Ambrose makes a catch on the run. Great job fielding that one out in left field by Elise Ambrose, getting there just in time. It'll move the runner up to third base. Oh, we're going to say that she ended up leaving early there, and so that will be the third out. Wow. So Hannah Rose Corbin escapes again. No runs come across for Team D. That leaves them at just 1 run. So here's the tally as we head into the final at-bats for each team. Team B on top with 7 runs. Team C right behind them with 4. And teams A and D each with just 1 run. All right, we'll take a break. Each team one more time up at the plate after this. Last time we'll get to see Team A up at the plate here on our Friday night scrimmage. We'll start with a runner on second base, by the way. So runner on second here with Harley Dawson inside the circle. Teams A and D only with 1 run apiece. As Dawson throws a ball to start this at bat. Odom, the one at the plate here with Elise Ambrose over on second. Team A just hasn't really been able to get much going here this afternoon. Their 1 run came the 3rd time up, and they started with a runner on second base that time. They had a runner on third base the last time up and couldn't get that run to come home against Hannah Rose Corbin. This time they faced Dawson. That pitch is popped up, and the grab will be made there by the shortstop, Emily Holmes. Well, we just mic'd up Emily Holmes. She moved the mic over to Morgan Elston. So Elston now the one with the mic. See if we can get some good content from her over at second base right now. As you see Odom make her way to second with Ambrose coming back to the on-deck spot. Here's Kirsten Reynolds. Inside, there's a ball to start from Dawson. Well, Dawson did a good job inside the circle her last time up. First 2 times, she's given up just 1 run. She started with a runner over on third base last time and then a runner on first here. The first time she was inside the circle. We've got Dawson and Corbin for these last 4 half innings, by the way. So we'll see Dawson here for this one, then Corbin against Team B. Dawson will come back out against Team C, and then Corbin will close it out against Team D. Off speed, Reynolds hits it well into right field. About 5 feet in front of the warning track there. It's going to move the runner up to third base, but it'll be out number 2. So Team A down to their final out. They've had 5 chances at the plate. Scored just 1 run so far. It was in their 3rd time up. Ambrose should be the one at the plate here for Team A. Runner over on 3rd base. It's Odom, so she's got some speed over there, 60 feet away. First pitch, Dawson. Another knuckleballer. We've seen that twice now from Ambrose, and it's going to be an easy 3rd out. So Team A, that's going to wrap up their afternoon at the plate. They end with just 1 total run. Puts them in dead last right now. We'll see the leaders, Team B, up after this. Last chance to look at Team B here at Cougar Field, comprised of Corbin, Vincent, Harris, and Odom. You see Odom at the plate to lead things off, the freshman Tara Odom from Hawkinsville, Georgia. Team B, guess what? They've got no one on the base paths here for this chance. So unfortunately, I guess fortunately for everyone else, since Team B is in the lead on top of the other 3 teams. And fortunately for everyone else, they also have Hannah Rose Corbin to face inside the circle. 1-1 the count here on Odom. Team B with 7 total runs. Next closest is Team C. We'll get this to see them one final time after this, and they're going to have to put up at least 3 runs to tie Team B, barring any runs scored here from Team B. And strike has been called pretty much all game long here behind the plate. On the outside for these left-handed hitters, but inside on hitters on the right side, like we saw with Dotson a couple times. Same spot, same call. All 3rd strike. Another strikeout for Corbin inside the circle. That one hit hard past a diving 3rd baseman. Holmes deep in the hole. They almost got the out there at first, digging it out. Boy, that was an awkward play there. Reynolds basically doing the splits over there at first. Paige Vincent ends up tripping. You've got the 3rd baseman, Kaiser, in the dirt, and Emily Holmes making a deep throw at short. There's a lot happening right there on that one. Not sure what happened to Vincent over there at first, but looks like she's okay. It didn't look like Reynolds tripped her because Reynolds' foot was off the bag. They got to eat it right there as Vincent will head on over to second base and put herself in scoring position. So 1 out, runner on second here for Team B. Corbin settles that off speed right in there for a strike.
Oh, 1 strike.
By the way, Corbin, a part of Team B herself, so she's actually pitching against her own team. It's a tough one. So she won't get the at-bat, and she has to strike out her team. I wonder if is there any collusion going on over there on the field. Teammates pitching against each other, but she does strike out her teammate Harris, so maybe not quite any collusion going down there. Insider trading happening amongst Team B. 2 down. It's up to Odom. Maybe she's okay with it because Team B already jumped out to the big lead, having scored 7 runs. Just misses on that outside corner. It's usually been getting called and hit there. That pitch misses in the dirt there. With the runner over at second base. We get to see teams C and D bat one final time. Dawson will be inside the circle next, and then Corbin will round it out. And that will put a wrap on our Friday night scrimmage. It's been fun being down here at Cougar Field. First time we've been able to come on down here for the fall and throw a broadcast up on Cougar Sports TV. Get all of y'all to join us here. Again, we had technical difficulties at the start. We have no internet box. All of a sudden it disappeared here from the press box. Don't know who took it or where it went, but no internet, so we weren't able to use our TriCaster and camera. So the video that you're seeing here this afternoon, it's brought to you by my MacBook, and the audio via my AirPods. So again, we've had to make do with what we've got. Sorry for the quality, but we've just had to roll with the punches here this afternoon. And there's a called third strike on the outside. That will end things for Team B at the plate. So Team A finishes with 1 total run. Team B, they finish with 7 total runs. They're in the lead, trying to hang on to it. We'll see Team C coming up after this. Two final half innings to go here at Cougar Field. 6 more outs in this Friday evening scrimmage. Team C, final time up at the plate. Team B in the lead. They finished with 7 total runs. Team A already done. Only 1 run for them. Right now, Team C get their final crack at it. They've got 4 runs. They're in second place right now. Chance to try to be closer to Team B. Unfortunately for them, no one on the base paths to start this half inning. No free runners out there. They've got Kennedy, Lindsey, Patton, Holmes, and Duncan. That's the 4 for Team C. Harley Dawson inside the circle starts it off with the ball. Kaylin Kennedy will start things for Team C. Kennedy and then Patton, followed by Holmes and Duncan. Second pitch, fly towards left in foul territory. Odom's unable to get there in time. 2 Odoms out there in left and right field. Caitlin Cooper in center. Mike on Morgan Elston. She's over there at second base. Good to see her at the plate in the final frame after Team C, part of Team D. This is there, just barely. That time it's a called strike. 2-2 now the count. All right, Team C, it's your chance to get back into it. You want to get the leadoff runner on the base paths here. Down by 3 runs. Team B pretty much all but done with only 1 run. Here's the pitch, and staying alive again, fouling that one off. Kennedy's done a good job here in this at-bat. Again, big-time addition to this CSU roster last season. And Kennedy hitting 500 in the 15 games that she played. All right, to Morgan Elston, and they nicks off of her glove. Would have been a great snag there at second. Hot shot over there. Runner on first base for Lindsey Patton. No outs. First pitch called strike right down the middle. Harley Dawson coming back for CSU. The 5-3 overall record last season and 58 strikeouts in just 61 innings pitched. Really started to dominate as the season was progressing. Trying to steal second there was Kennedy. She's going to get in there safely. Pitched 3 innings, or 4 total innings against USC Aiken, recording 7 strikeouts. And then picked up 8 strikeouts in 7 innings against Montevallo, giving up just 2 earned. Really developing into a strong number 2 for the Cougars inside the circle. 2-1 the count. No outs, though. Runner on second base. It's Kennedy, Patton, the one at the plate. There's a lefty from Loganville. Looks at a ball there. Makes it a 3-1 count. Dawson's pitch catches it outside corner. Well, he's been calling it. At least he's been consistent. So he's been calling it all game. Hitter's got to adjust to it. Full count coming up. Runner on second base. Dawson misses there, though. It's going to be ball 4, and it's going to send Patton over to first base. So this is what you're looking for if you were Team C, down by 3 runs. They basically got the tying run at the plate. Emily Holmes will step up with runners on first and second. Duncan on deck. Holmes shows bunt, and it's just going to trickle foul. Great job there by KR to watch that one go foul. Almost placed perfectly there by Holmes to load the bases. The 0-1 pitch, inside, called strike. Holmes quickly behind 0-2. And a swing and a miss there for strike 3 and out number 1. A big strikeout recorded there by Dawson, a much needed one. So it's Duncan, the one at the plate here with runners on first and second. And Team C trying to get right back into this, their final time at the plate. They've only scored 4 runs. They're 3 runs behind Team B. Strike called there on the outside. Dawson having to face these lefties here on Team C. 2-1 the count. Dawson trying to get out of the jam after runners on first and second started her inning. And there's a called third strike. Back-to-back Ks for Hurley Dawson inside the circle. And now she's 1 out away from stranding those runners out there. Again, tying run at the plate here for Team C. 7 total runs for Team B and Team C with 4. Brings Caitlin Kennedy back up to the ball there. She ended up reaching on the ball that went off Elston's glove. Patton drew herself a walk, and then a strikeout from Emily Holmes and a strikeout from Duncan. Makes it 2 outs. Another lefty up there in Kennedy. Off the end of the bat, just foul. Two and 1 the count. Here's that pitch that's outside, making it a 3-1 count. And we'll see Team D up there one final time, although they only have 1 total run. Not really in the running to win the scrimmage. Team B, they are the ones out in front, 7 total runs. Right now, Team C at the plate with 4. Game tying runner at the plate. Dawson will re-throw this one. Took an awkward step there. KR behind the plate. She's set back up. Pitch delivered by Dawson. A swing and a miss there. Full count. This has been a fun situation here with these 20 half innings. As you've got 4 different teams comprised of 4 different players with different situations happening every half inning. That's going to be ball 4. It's going to walk to load the bases and keep this inning going. They've got 2 outs, but they'll bring Patton up to the plate. Team C trying to get back into this one. It'll come down to the bat of Patton right here. The freshman. The newcomer to the CSU squad looks at a strike to start. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Inside on her, popped it foul. It's going to be 0-2. Guys are going to get there in time, but that's okay. 2 strikes. Down to their final strike here is Team C. Last time up at the plate, and then we'll get a chance to look at Team D one final time. O2 pitch. Stays alive. They do the 0-2 again and just missing on the outside corner there, making it 1-2. The Patton sisters, they're going to bring a lot of talent here to this Cougar squad. They've been fun to watch so far in this one. Just misses again, ball outside. A swing and a miss there, and that'll do it for Team C. Strands the bases loaded. Dawson gets out of a major jam there. So Team C, they finished with 4 total runs on the afternoon. So right now it's Team B well out in front with 7 runs. Looks like they're going to come away with the win. We'll see Team D one final time after this. All right, this is it. We're down to our final 3 outs in this one, the 20th frame that we've played here on this Friday evening scrimmage. It's been fun to be with y'all here on Cougar Sports TV. Morgan Elston will lead things off here for Team D. Way behind with only 1 total run, but we'll see if they can scratch something across in their final time at the plate. They will start with a runner on third base, by the way, so Hannah Rose Corbin will start with a runner on third in this one. She has yet to give up a single run in the 3 times that she has been inside the circle so far. In fact, no one scored a run here in their last time at the plate. Team A didn't score a run. They stayed at 1 total run. Team B, no runs for them. They stayed at 7 total runs. And then Team C, you just saw, had the bases loaded and couldn't get any runs across. They stay at 4 total runs. See if Team D can wrap things up here with something at the plate. The 4 on Team D, Elston, Dotson, Cooper, and Kaiser. Anna Rose Corbin inside the circle trying to finish with another 0. Elston, she's got the mic on, and she's at the plate. Pitch from Corbin. That's a check swing that's going to roll over to first base. And they'll tag her for out number 1. Quick out there for Corbin. Dotson, or excuse me, it's Cooper, the one that's at the plate now. Dotson on deck. Well, we'll make sure that we come out here a few more times as well during the fall. We're going to try to make this happen quite often as we bounce around from sport to sport and catch all of their inter-squad scrimmages. I know some of them happen at the same time, like soccer, for example, went on just now as well, with softball happening. Looked like Team Red won for soccer. I scored 2-1, so that's the 3rd straight win for Team Red in their soccer scrimmages. Here's Cooper, still runner over there at third base. 1 out. Foul tips that one back. Yeah, it's been fun to bring all the action for these scrimmages here on Cougar Sports TV, just to get out and about around campus. I know there's no games, no real games happening, so that's why we've enjoyed coming out to these scrimmages. Look, we got to give y'all something. I know that the fans out there, they want to watch their Cougars in action. As you see, another strikeout recorded there by Corbin. That's why we're going to try to come out as much as we can throughout the upcoming weeks. Just give you a taste of hopefully what we're going to see come springtime as these sports start to get back into action. Hopefully we'll see some basketball happening this upcoming winter. And then soccer, softball, baseball, tennis all happening in the springtime. They are playing some tennis and golf right now, along with some cross country in this fall. We watched our women's golf team participate in the tournament the other weekend. Tennis teams as well. We're at Belmont Abbey. They showed out in a big way, our tennis teams. As per usual for Cougar tennis. And then cross country, they've got an event tomorrow as well. Hopefully we can see big things from them. And then hopefully we'll get our basketball teams started maybe sometime around Christmas break, New Year, as they still try to hash things out. Making sure that we are safety first. Not going to lie, Columbus State, they've done a phenomenal job with making sure safety is the #1 priority in keeping these athletes, these student athletes, safe and sound, and making sure that they're taking all the precautions necessary. And they've done a fantastic job, especially with the constant testing of our athletes as well. Things continue to come back negative, and it's been a real positive sight to see here on campus. Well, Team D, they're down to their final out here. Runner still over on third base as Dodson stays alive. Only one run scored here by Team D in this scrimmage. One run for Team A and Team D as Dodson belts one to deep right field and off the glove out there in right field of Patton. Couldn't quite stick that one to finish the afternoon up, so Dodson stays alive with a double in the right. It's been a heck of a grab out there by the freshman in right. She was backing up all the way up against the wall. Strike called. Dodson on second base. Kaiser the one at the plate here. See if they can maybe tack on a run and not finish with Team A in last place. Try to get above one run here. So we missed there. 0-2 the count. So Team D down to their final strike. And a swing and a miss there by Kaiser, and that will do it. One run apiece for Teams A and Team D, 4 runs for Team C, and a shout out. Team B coming through with the win, plating 7 total runs here in today's Friday inter-squad scrimmage. Well, we appreciate y'all joining us here on Cougar Sports TV. It's been a lot of fun. We'll have a chance to go through some of the post-game highlights as we mic'd up 4 different players. We'll throw some of those good clips up on our Twitter account next week as we go through them. Hey, it's been great to be out here at Cougar Field for the first time in this fall. Appreciate y'all joining us here on Cougar Sports TV. That's going to wrap things up for us for our cameraman, which was just my MacBook Pro, and for our audio, which was my AirPods. We appreciate y'all joining us here on Cougar Sports TV. I'm Corey Aldis. Please stay safe. We'll see y'all next time. Team B comes away with the win this afternoon.